Welcome back everyone. Following a win over Philadelphia, the Lakers have gone 6 games above 500. And believe it or not, but they are right back within 2.5 games of the 8th seed, which could be a real possibility if they keep getting healthy. Now, they aren't playing without a number of key role players yet, but they were able to get back one of them last night, with that being Reddish, and even he alone was able to impact their defense. I mean, the real test will come tomorrow night against the number 2 rated offense Indiana Pacers, but I like what they showed us last night, and I think it is realistic to believe that they could keep this up. However, it will definitely not be easy, and in order for them to do it, they will have to keep putting a priority on defense, never forget to play with effort, and then most importantly, keep on getting healthy too. But we'll talk about the things that they can actually control during today's video, and how that could lead to them making a late season push. Before we get too far into it though, be sure to check out g2a.com for the best deals in your favorite games, credits, and everything digital entertainment. You can check them out in the video description down below. But now getting back to today's topic, and like I talked about during my post-game video last night, it's very rare for a team to be held under 95 points in today's NBA. Heck, it's even hard to hold a team under 110 points, and that can be viewed as a major accomplishment. Don't believe me? Well, there are only 6 teams doing that right now, all of which rank in the top 10 in defensive rating. I know it came against a Joel Embiid-less Philadelphia team, but it's still pretty darn impressive. And if they can keep that up to even a fraction of that level, then they will definitely be improving on defense very soon. And boy do they need it too. We've talked about it a bunch lately, but they have been a bottom 5 defense for all over a month now, even being a bottom 3 defense for a large majority of that time frame, which directly correlated with them playing without Jared Vanderbilt. And while he is obviously no Vanderbilt, Reddish can all make a difference, and he showed that for them last night. Even with a rather unattractive stat line of 0 points, he found a way to make an impact through his defense alone. And not only him, but Spencer Dinwiddie did too, which he has really been doing for a while at this point, and I think we can all agree that it's been a bit surprising. I mean, he has never been a bad defender, but he's never been known to be a good defender either, though he definitely has been a good defender for their team. I would argue that he's kind of had to be to make up for his lack of offense, but then again I think they have needed the offense more than the defense, and especially when matching up with a guy like Tyrese Maxey. Between Dinwiddie and Reddish, they did a very good job on him, and even Reeves did a pretty good job on him throughout the first half. He may have ended up with 27 points, but he shot well below average from both the field and 3-point line too, shooting only 38.5% for the field and then a putrid 11.1% for 3. But most importantly, they did not let Maxey get hot during the 4th quarter. He may have had a few garbage time points that did make his stat line look a little bit better, but holding him to only 11 points on 4 of 13 shooting is pretty damn good. And if not for Dinwiddie and Reddish, I'm not sure they would have done that, let alone even won this game to begin with. I know they might not really stand out on the stat sheet, but I think they might have been the most impactful players to them after Anthony Davis, who obviously had a pretty damn good game too, nearly having a 20-20 game with 4 blocked shots to go along with it. Not too shabby for a guy that people absolutely love to get mad at. But getting back to Reddish and Dinwiddie, they were very impactful, and I would argue that being Dinwiddie's best game as a Laker so far, with him not only playing great defense, but knocking down 3 big-time 3-point shots to go along with it. Like I mentioned before, he has not been very good offensively for them, averaging only 4.5 points on 35% shooting from the field and only 33% from 3 entering their game last night. Yikes. But after that game, he jumped up to a much more respectable 5 points and over 35% shooting from 3. Not great, but much better than he had been for them up until this point. And in my opinion, he's still being a bit too passive. And I get it, he does not want to put himself before the team. He has made that clear on multiple different occasions now too, which I definitely respect by the way. But I really think he should learn from a game like this one, which would point to their team becoming better with him being a bit more aggressive. Now I do want him to keep his primary focus on playing defense, or at the very least until they get Vando back, but I would like to see him keep this up on offense. And I really don't think that's that unrealistic either. After all, we are talking about a guy with a 13.4 career point per game average, and not to mention that he's put up over 15 per game during the past 5 years now. It's really all about him finding a rhythm. And one thing I would like to see their team do to help him with that is let him be their point guard a bit more. I'm all for Austin Reeves getting his fair share of opportunity, but I really don't understand why they make him their point guard when D'Lo and LeBron go to the bench. I mean, Dinwiddie is not the only one labeled point guard here, but he has been a much more proven option between them. Throughout that same 5-year time frame that I brought up before, Dinwiddie has put up 5.9 assists per game to only 1.8 turnovers per game, a 3.3 assist to turnover ratio, pretty damn good. And yet, they primarily utilized him as an off-ball shooting guard. He got more opportunity during their game last night, but that's not been the norm for him. Again, partially his own fault for being a bit passive, but it's definitely a two-way street here. And until they get Vanderbilt back, I think their best way of getting better is by trying to unlock Dinwiddie's full potential. And Anthony Davis talked about that following their game last night.
Spencer had his Laker high with 11 tonight, hit 3 threes, also played some pretty good defense. So what have you seen from him in terms of just continuing to feel more comfortable with this group and help on both sides of the ball?
Yeah, we constantly preaching to him to, be himself, be Spencer Dinwiddie, don't be passive, trying to pass the ball and looking for guys. Like, obviously, that's what he do, but at the same time, we want him to be aggressive. If he's open, shoot the ball, attacking the basket, finishing. And you can tell he's getting more and more comfortable and just playing basketball. So what he did tonight, we're going to need from him these last 12 games that we have, and then more. But he's starting to get comfortable, as you can see tonight.
I think everybody on their team knows it, but they really need that version of Dinwiddie more often, and it's up to him and Darvin Ham to fully figure it out. But then the other important part here will be keeping Cam Reddish healthy, as has been a real problem for their team. Obviously more on the medical team here, but simply managing him is important too. But for a game like this one, along with their next game against Indiana, Cam Reddish will be incredibly important. Having another guy come off their bench that can truly be regarded as defensive-minded is big for them. They obviously need more of that. And while it can be difficult to utilize him when he's not playing well on offense, they found a good way of doing it in this one. I know that some people are mad about him getting fourth quarter minutes over Rui Hachimura, but I for one fully agreed with it. Again, there are going to be certain matchups when they need him on defense, and this happened to be one of them. I talked before about how they're able to limit Tyrese Maxey during the fourth quarter, but that might not have happened without Cam Reddish. If you paid attention during the third quarter, Maxey was starting to get going, having 11 points on 4 of 6 shooting. And simply put, he was figuring out how to take advantage of their combination of D'Lo, Reeves, and Rui on defense. Now, I think that Rui should and likely will get more playing time than Reddish overall, but probably not during the fourth quarter. And I think they should pick and choose between him, D'Lo, and Reeves depending on who is playing well. But overall, despite them playing very poorly on offense, they were able to win this game from their defense. And if they can maintain that while at the same time playing like they have been on offense, then we could see them make a late season push. But with all of that being said, what do you guys think? What did you think about their performance last night? And what do you think it will take for them to maintain this level of defense? Comment your thoughts down below. That will do it for this video though. Big thank you to those of you who took the time to watch until the end of this video, and until the end of all of my videos in general. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day.